This is Michelle Archer with Direct Sales Institute, and I'm here this morning with Paulette Moose-Kallfelz. Did I get that right? All
Perfect.
right. I've been practicing. So I want to introduce you. If you don't know Paulette, let me tell you just a little bit about her. I've known Paulette for about 20 years. And for over 22 years, Paulette has been building a thriving business by mastering one of the most important skills in entrepreneurship, building relationships. And I think we're going to get to this, but Paulette has done that in multiple businesses. Things change. This is a very fluid industry sometimes. So I wanted to put that out there because I know some people are dealing with that. So she's maintained this consistency and built this enterprise through through different companies and having to start over, right? Start again. She's a wife, a mom of four, a proud Gigi, and a top performing sales leader, as I said. She has consistently grown her business through trust, connection, and service, which I think are far and few between these days, something that we really need to focus on more. It's not all about dancing on TikTok to build a business. Her career highlights include multiple six-figure achievements, incentive trips, top leader honors, and the honor of mentoring countless of entrepreneurs to grow on and to go on and build a business of their own. What I think makes Paulette's story especially powerful is that her success was not built on shortcuts or trends or pressure tactics at all. It was built through consistency, genuine relationships, and commitment to serving people well. And I think you'll hear that throughout her story. Her philosophy is very simple: people come before profits. Consistency creates success, and lasting businesses are built by creating real value for others, for your customer base especially. So, Paulette, I want to welcome you to Success Secrets. Anything you want to add to my intro of you?
Sure. Just a couple little nuggets. I'm actually a degreed accountant. That's my background. I was CFO of a company. I did accounting for 18 years prior to my direct selling career. So I'm a huge numbers person. But it's a different world in the corporate world. And when I got involved in direct sales 22 years ago, it just opened so many new possibilities, new doors. And what I love most about this industry is the camaraderie, the community. So that's one little nugget I'd like to add. And the other thing I love about this industry is also there's the possibility to have flexibility. Because I'm currently right now in our beach home in Sarasota, Florida. I live in Austin, Texas. So you will hear some y'alls coming out of my mouth. And it's nice to have flexibility and mobility when you work in the corporate world, or in those jobs, we call them, for those of us who do this full time. You just don't you're your own boss, and that's what I love most about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how wonderful it is that you can do this from your beach house. Take a break for 30 minutes. So thanks for spending 30 minutes of your vacation with us. I really appreciate it. I'm keeping an eye on the door to see who needs in. So Paulette, 22 years in this industry of demonstrated consistent success. What are the things, what are the secrets in your sauce?
Okay. I'm excited to share with you, and hopefully there'll be a nugget or so you guys can take away from this. But I have three specific secrets I'd like to share with you. And my first secret to success, I feel, is building relationships, not transactions. There's a huge difference when you have that trust built, and when you take the time to get to know people. I'm sure you guys have heard this. We have two ears for a reason and one mouth. We want to listen more than we talk, right? And so here's like the meat behind what I mean by all of that. In my 22 years, and as Michelle mentioned, I've been in multiple direct sales companies, and they're all a little different. And our world is different, and you have to kind of go with the flow. And we're going to talk about that. That's one of my other secrets to success. But one of the things I don't ever do is just send somebody a link to go purchase something they know nothing about. So if you, in your business you have that capability, I encourage you to educate them more about what it is that you're wanting to share about, right? Whatever that might be. Because sending a link, unfortunately, most people just go zone in on the price without knowing the value of what it is that you're sharing about. So to me, it's imperative to ask questions. Ask them what's their goal that they want to achieve. I happen to be in a health and wellness company called Shackley, and I've been in health and wellness 9 years. Prior to that, where I met Michelle, I was with beauty control. So I went from skincare and anti-aging to health and wellness. But from what I understand and know about health and wellness, it's incredibly important to know people's goals, what they want to achieve. So talking to them, getting to know them, finding out their goals and what they're trying to accomplish, because someone is obviously coming to you for a reason of something that you have to benefit them, right? So we want to find out what that reason is, their why. What is it that they're looking for, and making sure, because maybe there's something else in your arsenal that you could share, because we have over 300 products that I could share. So maybe this one thing I thought they needed truly might be something else. So again, I don't send ever do I send a website link. I always send them verbiage, documentation, clinical studies, you name it, whatever it is, to help back up some of the product that I would recommend to them or suggest. And I want them to make the decision, right? I'm not there to make the decision for them, but that's my best way to understand what it is they're looking for and help them solve a problem. Most people are coming to us to solve some sort of problem from whatever it is they heard us talk about, whether it be in person, on social media, you name it. So, and I will say to you, I feel that this is my number one reason why I've been a top seller for many years in the different companies I'm with, because here's the fabulous thing. I have customers, especially in the health and wellness, that have been with me all 9 years, still ordering this one product I call liquid gold. And it's quality of life changing, but because I've taken care of them, I've educated them on it, and I continue to, and I help them over the years that they've ordered to be able to, get the results they're looking for. Do we need to tweak something? Do we need to make some changes? So again, it's that personal story that really truly shines. And my favorite thing is when my customers, like, there's a promo happening or something, and I reach out to them. This is the other thing, every month. I don't just, sell them something once and then they don't hear from me ever again. No, I reach out to them every single month prior to their order even processing on their cards, so that I want to make sure everything's working well. I want to work with them, right? I want to make sure it's not like I just so I literally reach out to them every month. I check and make sure that things are working the way they want. I'm making sure they're taking their products correctly. But I feel that has been probably my number one tip, and I teach this to my team as well, that it's important to make them your priority and not yourself. Again, relationships, not transactions, but to be able to help them, you got to know, what they're doing, how they're doing, and making sure you're taking care of them. So when you build that trust, this is the thing that I love. I was going to say this a second ago, and of course I squirreled. When my customers tell me when there's a promo, Paulette, you know me, you just pick whichever one. I want one of those two promos. You pick which one's best for me. And I'm like, that's when you've built trust with somebody, right? And some of these people I've never met in person. And I've just met them, either at an event, maybe through social media, or a referral from somebody, they're at work, etc. So to me, I think if you take the time to truly understand their goal, their why, and build that relationship with somebody, the sale is just the byproduct of that relationship that you've just built. And I also know that these people will stay with you for years to come and send you referrals, and be your advocate, right? For you, market for you. It's free marketing when you really have people who truly trust and know, trust and like you, right? That makes a huge difference. So that's my first secret.
I love that. And just let me tag in a couple things. If you have questions, put them in the chat and we'll unmute at the end and y'all can ask them or I can read through. But I really loved no links. And I think this has become a really lazy habit in our industry. Instead of starting a conversation with someone and hearing, listening for what they're looking for, whatever you're selling, if it's jewelry, if it's a special occasion, are they looking for everyday stuff and makeup, whatever it is, creating that conversation instead of just sending them a link because the link they're going to fall off in a rabbit hole, just as you said. So I love that. I couldn't agree more. Really finding out what they need. How can you serve them? All of you guys have, dozens of hundreds of products. It just depends. How can you best serve them? What are the products that are going to meet their needs? And you can't answer that question for them if you don't get to know them at all. And then that the sale is the byproduct of the relationship. And so many people want to sell first and bond later. And it just doesn't work that way at all. So I love that. All right. So success secret number two, Paulette.
Okay, success secret number two is stay consistent when others quit. We know this business gets hard, especially those of us who've been doing it for a minute. So we just have to be consistent in what it is that we are doing. And it's about staying in it for the long haul. You know that you know, right? It's the confidence that you have in that. But most people think once it gets hard, they like, they quit too soon. And it's like right at the peak when everything's just getting ready to take off. So I encourage you just consistency, even though you may not think you're getting results, believe it or not, it's the touches. And I'm sure most of you've seen the stats. It takes 8 to 12 contacts with somebody to be able to get them to say yes, or go ahead and make that purchase, and or visit with you more about it to kind of fine tune what it is they want. But in our industry, we have booming seasons and we have seasons that are a little bit more challenging, right? It could just be the time of the year. It could be what's going on in our world. There's so many different things that are going on. So, but my nugget, my number one nugget in this particular secret is fortune is in the follow-up. And I know if you've been in direct sales, you've heard this before. And the follow-up might look different in your business than mine, but what I mentioned one of them, and that's that I follow up with even those who are already my customers. I don't just let them go. I follow up with them consistently every month. Not once a year, not once a quarter, every single month. But I also consistently reach out to those who shared that they were interested. Until somebody tells me I'm really not interested, I appreciate it, then I let them go. I still have people that I reach out to from my beauty control days that bought a product from me. They haven't bought something from me, but I'm in health and wellness, so there's a lot of things that I have that people need. And this one unique product that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world that I'm very passionate about it. So I talk about it, I share about it. But when somebody has told me that, I can't tell you time and time again, I'll send out we have Project Broadcast. It's an app you can utilize to send out a mass text to a large group of people. You create one message and it goes out to a lot. I'll send that to this group every so often, in other lists I have. And here's the great part. When I get the thank you so much for not giving up on me. Thank you for continuing to reach out to me. I really been wanting that, but it wasn't the time for me, the last time or a year ago or whatever it may be. So consistency is key. Or people, if you're a social media person, they might be watching you. They might have heard you say something and it caught their attention, and life is busy, right? They just get, squirreled and it just kind of goes off their mind. But as long as you're consistently sharing in whatever means is for you, then people will see you and people will eventually say yes, as long as they haven't told you, no, thank you, I'm not interested. I truly feel it's important that you do that. And consistency compounds, right? That consistency grows, and they also see it in the longevity. They may see it in the results of your own personal skin, or, again, I'm talking social media at the moment. But I just can't stress enough. I have so many people on my team are like, oh, I feel like I'm bothering them. No, you're not. How many times do you get ads from Victoria's Secret or places you shop at frequently? They're constantly sending you stuff, and you're like, oh, that's right, I need a new bra. I need to go get that, whatever, right? So it's okay to consistently send them little reminders to say, I'm here. I know you said you were interested in XYZ. So it's okay to do that. And I personally learned from people, that win, and they're not always the smartest people, but they're talented. They're the ones that continue to constantly show up. So I've learned this technique from others and by watching and learning, because I think it's important. We're constantly learn, which I think is what's so phenomenal, Michelle. And thank you so much for even including me in this. I feel honored, but this is where we learn. And some words I heard from somebody is when you change your words, it can change your world. And it could be a small tweak, but that's what we can learn from listening to other people who've walked this walk with us. So
I love that. And I love, we hear consistency and people, I remember being young in the business and thinking it's got to be more complicated than that. Guys, it's not more complicated than that, but it is everyday persistence, follow up, reaching out, being present on social these days. You can't work really hard for 2 weeks and then get frustrated and then not work, take 2 weeks off. You're always going to be behind. So a consistency thing is so important, and it really is persistence. And I know we're going to get questions. Well, let's just talk about it right now. You're reaching out to people. So what I see in our industry right now, particularly with people who are younger in the industry, is they're not maintaining their own follow-up lists. They are on social media. They don't have a way to reach out to people. And so how do you go about building these lists that you can even reach back out to? Just
So,
quickly.
yeah, social media specifically, when I don't care if they like, love, especially if they comment, definitely comment. That's super warm. I reach out to them via Facebook Messenger or DM if you're on Instagram, right? And just say hello. I don't, oh, I thank you so. This is how I view, and I heard this from somebody, I can't remember where, and it brought social media to life for me. And that is when somebody likes, loves, and definitely comments on a post that you put, and you don't ever thank them for that. It's literally like somebody walking up to you and going, "Oh, Paulette, I love your blouse. It's so pretty." And then I literally turn around and walk away. A like, a heart, a comment is a compliment to you. They've taken the time to acknowledge your post. Thank them. If you thank them in the comments, for sure, and take it off into a messenger. I highly strongly believe that. And in some way acknowledge it and say thank you. And I want to say one last quote. I forgot to mention this in relation to consistency. Consistency beats intensity every single time.
Love that one. Yeah, 100%. And I love your thought process on if they take time to just, give it a thumbs up, then follow up, take that offline. So when you're then in Messenger with them, now you're building a relationship. And that gives you the opportunity to, gather their information, steer them towards a funnel. Gosh, I can't talk today, but really capture that data so that you have a client base that you can put into Project Broadcast, which I also use and love, that you can put into your email program, that you can pick up the phone and call people. And I think that's what's really lacking so much right now is there's no way to follow up. And sometimes I say this in front of a group of people and I get blank stares from people like, what do you mean follow up? I don't have their information, right? So maybe from those of us who have been around for a while, get that contact, start building that contact list, and don't trust what's in your virtual office. You need to maintain your own records. These are your clients. This is your business. But anyway, I'm not supposed to be talking. Paulette is. All right. So what is success secret number 3?
Number 3 is be willing to reinvent yourself. And I'm going to tell you, I've had to reinvent myself because of a closure of a company and a new one. But here's the newest reinvention that I've had to truly go through. And that is from 2020, when every human on this earth was on social media, right? Everybody was Zooming and doing all the things on social media, etc. That's not the case anymore. It truly is not. Like the social media generated leads are so low in comparison. I call belly to belly at events. And so with what I do, I go into chiropractor's office, med spas, places where people understand how important it is to supplement, your body, because the key is to help your body heal itself, truly. And our bodies are smart enough to do so. So in your industry or whatever one what your direct sales is, it's you want to find those places where you can introduce it or have someone sample it or try it, those kinds of things. So but it's got to be something that speaks, because I know at med spas that women go get treatments, and my liquid gold is phenomenal. And for chiropractors, like, people go to get adjusted, but if I can give them something that's going to lubricate and hydrate their ligaments and joints and help with their cartilage, right? Like, that's the place I go to. So it's imperative to find your places, and you can do the bigger events, but you can do small ones. Anywhere you go to have service, this is the place where you want to go. So growth requires change, always. If I know we've all heard the saying that if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, it's the definition of insanity, right? So when our world changes, we have to change with it. So if people now are wanting community and to get together, then we need to find those ways to do it. And like, we came from the party days, right? We don't have to do parties anymore. Thank goodness. But guess what? I might be doing one a month, a little what I call sip and sample. Come over and sip my products and let's have a good time and have a pina colada shake, because we have protein shakes, right? So stuff like that. Make it fun, but make it something that's very exclusive and it's only done every so often. Or maybe someone else would be willing to host a show or sip and sample, whatever it is that you do, to help with that. But I really truly feel that you have to reinvent yourself. And sometimes it's not just about a closure of a company. It could be because of just what's going on in our world. And that one I knew would relate to everybody, because we're all feeling that, right? We're like, ooh, social media was hot for like 3 years. Now it's like been going down and down and down. And just people are just not on it as much. So when technology makes changes, social media makes changes, but also our customers, change, and we need to help take care of them and their needs and what it is that they need. I'm reading through my notes just to make sure I don't forget anything. Those of us, the people who are the ones that are thriving in our industry, are the ones willing to learn. I'm still learning. I keep learning. That's why I'm super excited. I was like, I'm the first speaker. I get to learn from all the rest that she's having in this series, right? We need to adapt to whatever that is, and we need to evolve, pivot, if you will, right? It's not like you're changing your whole business, but you got to make some tweaks and figure out what that is and how that works for you. But systems help. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes having a system, just like the list we were talking about, right? Like, you can't follow up unless you have a list. And I have different kinds of lists. Like, if I did a post about my liquid gold and people said they were interested, that's a different group that I'm going to reach out to than this group that it was maybe about the opportunity or something, whatever it may be. I have different, I don't just put them in this follow-up list and I have no idea where they came from. So it's also important that you keep those somewhat organized, if you will, so you know exactly when you do follow up, you follow up. And I do want to add something on the DMing and the Facebook messaging in building that relationship part. And this kind of helps maybe with maybe some tweaks you can make in your businesses. I don't just talk about, I thank them for the comment, but I also definitely try to look on their profile, see what I can find out about them, and say, oh my gosh, your picture with your grandkids is precious. I compliment them, or at least let them know, like, I know a little something about them. If I don't really know them that well, then I try to go to their profile and find out, because that's how you build relationship, right? So I think that's super important when it comes to building a relationship online and through Messenger, especially if you don't know the person that well. But reinventing yourself is not easy. I'm not going to lie. It takes work. And I always say to someone, try something 3 times before you make a decision whether that works or not, right? Because sometimes we might tweak that even a little bit itself. Um, but don't never, ever be afraid to become a beginner again, because we can always start and work from there. And hey, if you're starting from beginner, the only place to go is up. So it's a positive place to be. So it's not hard.
I love that. Don't be afraid to be a beginner again. And we all do have to be beginners again as things change, just like you talked about. And I'm just going to compliment you. That is absolutely genius for a health and wellness brand, for a health and wellness person to look around their community and think, where are the people at that I can help that need this? And so reaching out to chiropractors and reaching out to med spas and things like that. There are so many opportunities, whatever your business is, there are so many opportunities out in the community instead of sitting at home, beating your head against the social media wall, praying that people are going to come your way. Get out and meet the people. And y'all can put in the chat what your business is and how does this work for me, and we can answer that for sure. So yeah, I thought that was absolutely genius. That's something we used to do back in the day, but really
Right?
social media has caused our industry to abandon the things that built our industry. And
Right.
yeah, we're not doing things like, we don't call it an open house. You didn't call it an open house, but whatever that whatever
Example.
is sip and sample. Yeah, it's that group event. And we're not doing those so much. And we're, trying to make Facebook parties work or messenger parties work. And the yield is really low and it's really frustrating for people. So some of these core tenets that have gotten us through the last 100 years will get us through the next 100 years in this industry. And I hear from people so much, oh, Michelle, is direct sales dying? I feel like it's, no, it's not. It's changing and evolving. And we had a heyday on social media where you could build a business on social. That day's over. That is so governed and controlled. And if you feel like you're posting and no one's seeing you, it's because they're pushing paid ad content. So don't let that get in your head either. Oh my gosh. Okay, Paulette. So anything, and if there's any questions, we want to hear them in the chat or comments or your favorite takeaway. Um, Anything else that you can think of that you wanted to share today?
I think I got all my secrets out. My top.
Okay, those are good secrets. So now something that's so important to me, and I think this is a success secret, is what is your personal mission in your company? And for everyone, you need to have a mission, a good that you do, a service that you provide. And so what's your mission through this? Because I thought it was very powerful.
Yes. So my mission is to help people look, feel, and live younger longer. And through our products, I can truly do that. And it is so rewarding to help people look, feel, live younger, longer. And what I love about the company's motto is to live age free. And the owner's passion, I'll just share this quickly with you, is to turn our world from sick care to well care, right? Like I just think that's so, so, so powerful. And it's just it speaks to our I'm sorry, our world that we're in right now, right? Everybody wants to become healthy after what we just all went through a few years ago. So
And I just love your mission in helping people, live younger or live ageless. And that shines through. That is truly an authentic piece of your heart. And what I find, sometimes people say, they're trying to pick a company. You've got to pick a company that resonates with what your personal mission is. And so you found that. So now I always ask everyone, what's your favorite product of your company? Like, what does everybody have to have?
liquid gold for sure.
Okay. And what
And
is
what is
that?
gold? It is a collagen hyaluronic acid chondroitin sulfate matrix. So this isn't just a collagen product because I know there's a lot of that out there, right? It's a very unique product. And this is the number one reason I went to the first company I went to 9 years ago that was health and wellness is because this unique product in and of self helps someone lubricate and hydrate ligaments and joints. It helps with cartilage tissue, gut health, heart health, flow of arteries, the squishy disc in your vertebrae in your back that as we age, those dehydrate. It helps with gum health, eye health, and the icing on the cake is what it does for our skin, hair, and nails. I'm 56 years old and my husband's 63. Because of this product in and of itself, it's allowed my husband at 63 to not only continue playing hardball baseball, but he plays on two teams because he's able to be agile. All humans need to supplement because as we age, we dry out from the inside out. And it's allowed me to do very intense, hardcore classes. And the girls that are like my partners are like, there's no way you're 50 something years old, whatever. Maybe it was 55 and now, whatever. But so it makes me feel good. It's not just about a look thing, it's about my capability of living younger, longer, helping people have a quality of life, a life that they so desire and want to keep doing, even though we're getting older.
I love that, Paula. And it really does shine through that you have found this passion and found a mission and found a perfect product for you to be able to live that mission every day. So I know Paulette's got a drawing. Tell us about your drawing.
Yes, I'm giving away a product package worth $100, and I'm going to leave it open because I know this is going to have a replay. So those of you who listen to the replay, you will have a chance also. Michelle's going to share with you guys a link, and if you fill out the form at the bottom, it's going to put your name into the drawing for this $100 product package. And I felt like it would be okay to leave it open till the end of June. Michelle, do you think that's fair? Because
Yeah,
it gives a couple weeks at least. And then who
totally
knows?
up to
If
you.
the series is still going on. I might generate another one for the month of July because I know she's going through July as well. So I definitely want to give at least one away by the end of June.
I was hoping to pop that in the chat, but I don't have that link handy. Do you happen to have it?
I do.
Can you find it? And just pop it in our chat here.
Okay, I
And
do that.
our closed chat. All right. And while we're waiting for that, does anybody have any thoughts or any questions or any like takeaways? This was my favorite thing. Oh, it's looking for her link.
I just sent it to you because I have it on my phone. I think it might be easier. I texted it to you. Does that work? Because
Nope,
I'm not on
it
Zoom on,
might.
but I hope you
I'll
can.
pause. I'll pause for a second and we'll do
While you do that. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's on. I appreciate, and I so hope there was at least something you took away with what I shared today, because truly so many people have helped me. And if there is just something I could help you with or think about a little differently, that makes a difference. And I also want to say thank you to Michelle for even considering me to share and thinking that I have, I mean, I know I have something of value, but she really was like, oh, people need to hear this. So that made me feel very special. And I'm very honored to be part of this series and her first speaker.
Well, Paula, thank you so much for taking time out. You're on vacation, as we mentioned maybe before we got started. So thank you so much for taking 30 minutes out of your vacay to just share a little bit of what you've learned over the last 22 years in this incredible, incredible industry. And I just want to point out again, you're working on vacation. That's where else can you do that? Not many places. So we'll pause real quick, take some questions, and I will pop this link into the chat. All right. Any final thoughts from anyone before we wrap up? We've got links in the chat and I'll put them in the event as well. All right. Well, again, Paulette, thank you so much for taking time out of your vacay. I hope you have great weather down there. This recording will be available. We'll send it out on playback, so make sure that the email I have is your real email address. That's the one I use. And we'll get this posted online, and I'll be back next week with a brand new speaker. So thank
Thank
you all for being
you so
here with
much.
us today.
Thank you.